Money is not complicated, even though many people think it is. They think you need to understand the stock market, you need to read hundreds of finance books, you need to be able to predict the economy, you need to find that next hot, investment before you can build wealth. That's not true. If you understand the 6 ideas I'll be sharing with you today, you will know already 99% of what really matters when it comes to money. These things they're not new. They've been true for hundreds, even thousands of years. More than 2,000 years ago, the Greek philosopher Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. That's one of the greatest money lessons ever written. A lot has changed after that. Technology has changed, banks, have changed, investments have changed. Human nature hasn't. We still want more. We want to spend more. We want, a lot of money. And we then wonder why we never seem to get ahead. So let's start with the first principle. This is what I call the wealth gap. A lot of people believe that wealth comes from earning a high income. It doesn't. Wealth comes from the gap between what you earn and what you keep. Imagine two friends who both earn, say, $80,000 a year. One spends almost everything because they believe they deserve a better lifestyle every time they get a raise. The other quietly saves and invests 20% of every paycheck. 10 years later, their salaries may still be the same, but their financial lives couldn't be more different because one owns assets that are growing every year. The other owns nicer things that lose value every year. And this is why Warren Buffett said, do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. The wealth gap isn't created by earning more. It is created by keeping more. Every dollar or naira or pound that you don't spend grows in the background. The second one is the time machine. If I could give one financial gift to every young person, it wouldn't be money, it would be time. People spend months trying to find what the perfect investment is, and they are ignoring the one thing that matters even more: starting early. Compound growth is one of the few things in life that rewards patience more than brilliance. And this is why you will find people not earning much, but who started early with a sizable investment portfolio. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. I don't know if he said that, it's debated, but that lesson is true. Imagine planting 2 trees, one today and then another one, say, in 10 years' time. The first tree doesn't grow faster because it's a better tree. It grows bigger and larger because it has had more time in the ground. That's the same way investing works. The biggest investment mistake is not choosing the wrong fund. It is waiting for the perfect moment to begin. The third point is the winter principle. This is another great lesson, and this comes also from an ancient story. And I like this particular story a lot. Joseph warned Pharaoh that Egypt would experience 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. During the good years, most people would naturally just consume everything they've produced. Joseph did the opposite. He stored part of every harvest. And then when the famine arrived, Egypt then panicked because they had prepared. They had prepared while others were celebrating. Life works exactly the same way. Your winter may be a job loss. It may be a medical bill. It may be a broken car. It may just be any of those unexpected expenses. You don't build emergency fund because you're expecting disaster tomorrow. You build it because you know life always has seasons. And preparing can be your grace out of panic, out of begging, out of stress. And I always say, no matter who you are, no matter how well you pray, winter is going to get to everyone. It's just called life. So, number 4, the upgrade trap. This is another one you should not miss. Success can be a trap if not well managed. And this is where the upgrade trap comes in. You get a promotion, you upgrade your car. You get another raise, you move into a bigger house. Your income increases, your expenses increase as well. Before you know it, you're earning twice as much, but somehow you're still living paycheck to paycheck. This is called lifestyle inflation, and is one of the quietest thieves of wealth. And sometimes you don't even see it coming. Every upgrade on its own feels reasonable, but when you add them all together, they slowly just erase that gain that you've worked so hard to achieve. And there is something called the Dero effect. This is the tendency for one new purchase to trigger a chain of other purchases. So if you've been promoted and you decided to move into a better neighborhood, you get there and then realize, the car you drive does not fit this environment, compared to others, it feels old. You upgrade that too. And then you look at yourself and you're like, I need to change my wardrobe. My wardrobe does not, match this car. And then you upgrade that too. And before you know it, one purchase has quietly turned into 5. You see, wealthy people don't avoid upgrades, they just make sure that their investment is also growing and it is growing faster than their lifestyle. Every raise should not become a bigger expense. It should first become a bigger investment. Number 5 is the autopilot effect. You see, there's this part I read in James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. Money follows exactly the same rule. If you have to remember to save every month, you will eventually forget someday. If investing depends on how motivated you feel, you'll stop when life gets busy. It's just natural. The easiest way to build wealth is to remove yourself from that decision. Automate your savings. Automate your investment. Automate your bills. When good financial decisions happen without you thinking about them, consistency would follow. Then number 6, the freedom formula. For me, this is the biggest lesson of them all. Money is not about buying expensive things. It's about buying freedom. Morgan Housel writes in The Psychology of Money. It's a great book, by the way. You should get it. He says, the highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. I've not gotten to that level. That's where I'm going. That's what money is really for. It's the freedom to leave a job that makes you miserable. It's the freedom to spend more time with your family. It's the freedom to help your parents without worrying about your own bills. It's the freedom to sleep peacefully because you know that an unexpected expense will not destroy your finances. When you understand that, your entire relationship with money changes. You stop chasing things and you start building for yourself choices. If you never learn another financial formula, but you remember these 6 principles that I have shared today, the wealth gap, the time machine, the winter principle, the upgrade trap, the autopilot effect, and the freedom formula, you will know what 99% of people spend their entire lives trying to figure out. The problem is we keep looking for shortcuts when the real answer has been in front of us all along. In my next video on the screen, I talked about why looking poor is important, and I'll see you there.